A lot of people assume as soon as your AC starts blowing warm air, your AC compressor is done for, and it requires an expensive replacement and recharge. But that's not always the case. And you see, this is my 2004 Subaru Forester that we've been off-roading and building for the last 10 years and taking it on some pretty epic adventures. And it's almost at 500,000 kilometers. So it's got a few quirks, and one of them is my AC blows cold for about 2 minutes and then goes warm, and it never really comes back. And after our last couple summer adventures, which included a 1,200 kilometer road trip, I knew this was something that I had to address sooner than later, because the rest of my summer adventures, I don't want to be drenched in sweat. But today, just today, we're gonna get this fixed and running. So how do we go about doing that? Well, there's one critical component on AC compressors, and as far as my understanding goes, pretty much any Subaru with an AC compressor, whether it be something as old as this 2004 Forester or something as new as a 2026 Wilderness, they all use a clutch in the AC pulley, and that is actually causing the problem. You see, down here we have our AC compressor, and this is what makes AC work in the first place. But you're going to notice there's kind of two components on this pulley here. What we have is the pulley itself, and then we have this faceplate, which is what we're going to be tackling today. You're probably wondering, how do I know it's the pulley and not the condenser? Well, honestly, this is a pretty quick fix that requires no new parts and just a couple pieces of bolts. So I would say, if you're not quite sure, but you think it might be this, do this first. This is such a cheap and hopefully fixing solution that there's no point in not trying this before anything. That said, how did I figure out it was this? Well, it's going to be hard to show because it usually only happens when it's plus 30 degrees. Today is like the one day it's not plus 30 degrees here in Calgary. But what happens is I turn it on for a little bit, drive the car, maybe 10, 15 minutes, and then my AC stops working. I then find up here, you'll notice there's two plates here. This outer plate and this one attached to the pulley. They'll both be spinning when the compressor is running. And then when the compressor is not running, this will just kind of freewheel. So when it's freewheeling, that's easy to see. But when it's engaged, you should be able to see the actual pulley moving in with the compressor. So we can see that it's not moving when we don't have any AC, even though our AC button is pressed. What we find is you can go ahead, don't do this with your hands. Find something with, I use my radio, but a hammer or a wrench, and just give this front plate a little tap. That's going to re-engage the compressor there, and what I found is it actually started the compressor working again. That was a pretty good indication that it's not my AC compressor that's the issue, it's the AC compressor clutch that's the issue. So as I said, if you're having similar situations, make sure your AC is on, give it a little tap, and if it all of a sudden starts working again, that's a pretty good indication that the clearances on the face of the pulley and the pulley itself are too far and they're not engaging properly. And we just actually got to remove a tiny little shim in here with a couple bolts. Now that we know it's the AC clutch and not the actual compressor itself, how do we go ahead and tackle that? Well, all you're going to need is a couple of wrenches and a couple of M5x40s and then a stack of washers. And that's it. You can grab these. I got these for like $4 at our hardware store. So as I said, if you're thinking it might be the issue, tackle this first and see if it fixes it. And the solution is actually really simple. So we have our AC compressor here, and we're going to take a couple of these M5s, and there's threads here, here, and here. They are definitely a little grimy on this car, but we're going to go ahead and thread a couple of these guys in. You're probably going to need your wrench to thread them in. And you might notice that when you go ahead and try to tighten these guys up, that it's going to spin the pulley itself. Our goal is to undo this. So what you're going to do is you can put this guy on here, and then you can go ahead and thread this in, and it's going to keep the two from moving, and you can continue threading it in. And then with the bolts threaded in, we're going to grab something. It could be a screwdriver, it could be a chisel. And our goal, as I said, is to loosen this up. So we're going to get it in a position where we can maybe stick this guy through and try to break the pulley free. Like that. Then we can go undo the nut holding the pulley on. One thing to note is this pulley is not going to come free though when you undo the bolt here. And there we have the bolt free, and we can continue working on threading our third bolt. So we'll spin this guy around a little bit. And we'll thread our third bolt into this area. And then once you have all three bolts in here, what you're going to do is you should be able to sneak a 1/4-inch ratchet in here, and you're going to tighten them up till they bottom out. And then once we got it kind of all the bolts bottomed out, what we're going to do is use these to pull the pulley off of the face here, because it is kind of stuck on. So we're using it as kind of a pulley puller. But it will definitely take a while to get these all fed in. And then eventually what you'll see is a big gap forming here, and then you should theoretically be able to take this out. Just to keep in mind, because you're working with older cars, this might be a bit of a pain. I actually ended up hitting it a little bit with a hammer just on the tops here to try to loosen stuff up because it was very tight, but eventually you should be able to pull that guy out. And I just lost the shims. And if you're like me and drop the shims out of here, you won't have to do the next step. But what you'll do is you take some needle nose and go in here and grab one of these very tiny shims. So they're super tiny, and there's actually two of them. We typically, so they'll be like that. You'll usually pull both of them out at once. And you only want to remove one of these guys, because if you remove two, it will be too close. And I've actually heard of people burning up the AC compressor clutches. So take one of the shims out and then put the other one back in. And then you have a reshimmed AC clutch. What you're going to do now is undo these three bolts here. So the ones that you use to pull the pulley out, you're going to take these out. And then we're going to go ahead and put this back. It's only this shim that is the thing causing the issue. As I said, super easy fix. If it's this, that is the quickest fix ever. No AC compressor changes, just taking one of these shims out. But it is a little bit of work, especially on a car like mine, where it's a little bit seized. It was definitely a fight to get these off, but if you can get it off in a car with 400,000 or 500,000 kilometers, you should be able to get it off anything. And then once you have your bolts removed, make sure your shim is in there, and you can go simply reinstall this on the car. It's going to kind of click in place, but you're going to notice it doesn't want to go any farther. And that's where our M6 with the stack of washers goes in. So essentially, we want to stack the washers to push this back into place. So I think I'm actually going to add a few more washers and then get just a couple inches of thread on there. And then we will slowly push this back onto the AC compressor. And about halfway through, you can go ahead and take the factory bolt and use that to tighten it back up. And we got cool air coming from the vents. As I said, it's not a right away issue. It's when we're driving in hot weather, we start to see the issues. So we're going to have to test it. But I'm fairly confident that this fixed it for two reasons. First and foremost, the gap is a lot smaller, and when it's running the AC, the engagement isn't as aggressive. I noticed the aggressiveness with the AC when I'm on the highway or in park. It sounds almost like a clunk, where now it's a little more subtle and it doesn't sound aggressive. Second of all, when the AC is off and that pulley's spinning, it is not rubbing. As I said, I've heard of people burning it out if you take out two shims. So I think we're in a nice spot now that we should be able to have AC even when it's 35 degrees and we're out in the middle of the Okanagan. I'm honestly not sure why I didn't do this sooner. It literally took, well, probably about an hour and a half, just because my clutch was really stuck in there. But if you're careful and you just slowly back those bolts off, like even a half a turn, and just kind of keep on going in circles, rather than trying to tighten one too much and snapping a bolt, you can get it off, even if something is as old as my Forester. That said, I'm excited to see how it works. We still got a couple months of summer. We still got lots of adventures planned, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't see any of that. Also, let me know if this is something you're gonna try. or if you have a bad AC and you tried it and it worked for you, because I'm always curious to see if these hacks work as well for me as they do for you guys. And with that said, while you're down there, don't forget to go ahead and check out Flat for Off-Road here for all your adventure Subaru needs. We've been adding a ton of stuff. We've been getting our storefront open. And as you've seen in the members only videos, we're really growing the business. So make sure you're checking that out, as well as the channel memberships for exclusive perks. And if you want, behind the scenes content of building Flat for Off-Road. And with that said, I'll be seeing you guys on the next adventure, probably in this rain.